All right. Crazy. Hey, we are live. We are live. Let's see. Going live. Stuart, how are you? If you guys can see me, if anyone can see me on Facebook, give me a thumbs up or a comment or something. If you can see me, if you can hear me on Facebook Live. Anybody can see me on Facebook Live. Give me a, all right, Micah reacted. Steve, Stuart, how are you doing? Where are you located? Guys, I posted the Zoom link. I'm doing a Facebook Live right now. All right, Steve says you can see me. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. I have posted a Zoom link in the Facebook group, the local SEO accelerator community. It's in the comment section also. It's in a new post also. But you guys should see me live on Facebook also. Let me just confirm if there are a couple of people there. Let's get this party started. All right. Josh says hello. Micah says office. Yeah, office. Yeah. All right. Steve's in the Phoenix area. Feel free to jump in on the Zoom call. Yep. Okay, good, guys. Awesome, guys. Just want to go live. I know I've been saying, planning to go live on Facebook, in the Facebook group for a couple of weeks. And you know what? I just couldn't figure out for the life of me how to connect Zoom with Facebook Live. Apparently, they changed some settings. Google SEO is so much easier, guys. Trust me on that. All right. But what we're going to do now is, if you guys can mute yourselves, be awesome. Yep. Thank you, Devil. Welcome. Guys, feel free to jump in on live. I'm going to share a couple of things, and then feel free to ask questions in the comments. In the comments of the Facebook Live. Hi, Greg. How are you? Greg Muir. Good to see you. Yep, I'm well. How are you, buddy? So, anyways, just want to go in right ahead. Like I said, this is August 7th. My goodness, it's the 8th month. It's the 7th day of the 8th month. We are almost in not the end of the year, but the second half of the year. And I know we all had goals for 2021. If for some reason you're not on track, make sure you get back on track. I'm going to share my screen and jump on in right now, so we don't waste some time. So anyways, here is the agenda for today. And if you can see my screen, give me a 1. I think you can see my screen. Awesome. So rank and rent, SEO, a lot of people, we have some new people in the group. We have some seasoned veterans in the group. I'm just going to go through some of the things that we do, that I have been doing personally, and my team has been doing. I have a course with a lot of people. We teach that. And we're doing a couple of things that, driving calls to local businesses, right? So I'm not going to go very, very deep. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff you can do to rank keywords, but we are going to go over a few things that's going to add so much value that even if you're brand new, you're going to learn a thing or two and go from there. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, awesome. So we're going to go over the full SEO strategy we used to rank not 1, but 2 websites in the map pack. All right. If you don't know what the map pack is, what the free pack is, I'm not going to start at the basics. I'm assuming you know a little bit of SEO, at least the terminology, the lingo. But it's for a very, very competitive keyword. I am going to reveal the keyword also, because you know why? We revealed this keyword 6 to 8 months ago, and the DNBs was suspended. Okay, it was crazy because I think the last time I revealed the keyword, it was live and up, and we were driving keywords and all that. somebody must have reached out to Google or whatever. The GMBs were suspended. So we lost a client. How about that, right? It was a rank and rent site. We have the SEO client. We still do SEO for his website, but the rank and rent site that we had put up, those two sites in GMBs, they had actually gone away. Okay, but I'm going to use this as a case study. So when life throws lemons at you, you can cry, you can duck, you can take cover, you can complain, or you can make lemonade, right? If your GMBs are suspended, what do? You go and you teach how you rank them in the first place and see how you can help others, right? So not sure how many people are, okay, there are about 6 people watching Facebook Live. That's crazy. If you guys have questions, feel free to put it in, but I'm going to go deep diving. All right. So what is the keyword I'm talking about? This is the keyword DUI lawyer Tampa, right? For those of you who don't know, DUI is a pretty big word. Tampa is a pretty big city. The legal niche is pretty competitive. All right. And so we actually had a website and a GMB ranking. We had 2 websites, GMB ranking. I'm just going to go over one really today because we did 2 different things, if you will. The same foundation, but we tweaked quite a few just to be safe. So just doing over one, but it doesn't matter if you are looking to rank for a very competitive keyword like DUI lawyer Tampa, or if you're just starting out and you want to pick a 40,000 population city, 50,000 population city, and you're not in the legal niche. In fact, if you're just starting out in SEO and rank and rent, I would highly recommend you pick a very easy niche, right? Like I don't know, a 20, 30, 40,000 population city, and a very low competitive niche, like maybe I don't know, gutter cleaning maybe, or something that's low hanging. All right, and we'll cover that later on also. Right. So this is the keyword. Here is a screenshot of the calls of the rankings we were driving. You can see DUI lawyer, DUI attorney, DUI lawyer, criminal defense, criminal defense. So full disclosure, when I say 1880 searches a month, we rank the website for this keyword, DUI lawyer Tampa. But you also need to understand that was just one keyword. Even though it's a very high competitive keyword, we were also ranking for DUI attorney, criminal defense lawyer in that city, criminal defense lawyer in that state, I mean, in that county, and suburbs, all of that. And so you see this Google local, that's the rankings in the map pack. So it's number one, number one, number one, number one, number one. The search volumes you can see are going up and down because some of these DUI lawyers are like the suburbs, okay? Some of these DUI attorneys like the county. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of search volume apart from this DUI lawyer, which is 880 searches a month, okay? And some of the call volume, this was 2 years ago. You can see here, so 10 to 15 calls a day pretty much. On the low end, about 10 calls a day for a DUI attorney. That's a lot of calls, okay? If you have a client, then it doesn't matter if he's an attorney or a tree service guy or any kind of a local business. If you are sending them 10 customers, 10 potential customers, 10 calls a day, that's a happy camper, right? So who am I? Why should you be listening? If you don't know who I am, if you're new to the group or anything like that, my name is Saravanan Ganesh. Yes, my first name is Saravanan. My last name is Ganesh. But sometimes, a lot of people call me Ganesh because they cannot pronounce my first name. That's totally fine with me. So my name is Saravanan Ganesh. Married, 1 wife, 2 kids. I went to University of Michigan here. So I'm originally from Sri Lanka. I grew up in India. For those of you who may or may not know where Sri Lanka is, it's a tiny island next to India. So let me show you where Sri Lanka is, right? So if I go to maps, come on, computer, right? You see this? If I can load it, like this is India in Asia. I was born in this tiny, the size of this island of Sri Lanka is probably the size of Michigan where I live now. So I was born here, but there was a civil war, civil unrest for 30 years, I believe, from 1970s to 2010 or so. And so when I was 4 years old, in the middle of 1985 or something, I moved, my family moved from Sri Lanka to India, and we were living in the southern tip. Well, actually, we were living here in Chennai. It's not the southern tip. That's where I grew up in India. And so then I came here about 20 years ago to the University of Michigan to pursue my master's. Right now, I'm going to dive into SEO. I teach SEO. I say this, I'm one of the few experts who's technical. The reason being, you know, SEO, for those of you who know, the Google algorithm changes. You know, there's a major update every 6 months to a year. Like there was one update early June, late May. And if you don't have the foundation right, it can throw you off, throw your websites off, your rankings off. And almost every day there are subtle, smaller Google updates. And I'm just my bachelor's degree is in engineering, computer engineering. My master's is in computer engineering. I'm a technical guy more than a people sales guy, if you will. And so I just love reverse engineering all you know, what Google is doing. So over the years, of course, over the years, you know, we've had hundreds of clients. We've done a lot of white label SEO. The way we started the Facebook group, when I say we, it's really I started the Facebook group, was a lot of these SEO gurus would come to me for SEO help, and I would help them. I was pretty decent at ranking and all that. And I saw that they were making a lot of money teaching and selling courses. And I was like, wait, I want to get in the game. Full disclosure, there was money in selling courses. So I said, one, why should I teach somebody who's going to take my stuff and sell? Two, with my course, I don't promote it a lot. 95% of my income is from rank and run and SEO. In fact, I would say 99%. In the last 6 months of this year, probably have one person a month joining my course, really. But we cover a lot of things there. So anyways, so that's me. Do a lot of white label SEO for quite a few companies and all that. Here is what I want to do today, right? I don't want to just keep talking and boring you. I'm not here to inspire you. I'm not here to say, awesome guys, you can do it, or look, I am awesome, you should listen to me now. I'm not into that. I make more money from rank and rent. That's passive income. And I love that, passive income. And I'm just going to share something with you, right? One thing I do like is this, right? If somebody asks me, what do you do? Even yesterday, I was visiting somebody and they're like, what do you do? And I say, I play with my now 5-year-old all the time. I travel a lot. And they're like, no, what do you do? What's your job? And I really, I work probably like 2 hours a day. Okay, from 9 to 11, I sit in front of a computer. I have an agency. I just make sure things are happening. And then I'm pretty much, it's my own time. And my 5-year-old goes, he doesn't do anything. He sits in meetings 2 hours a day, then we just play. And they just get confused, like, what do you do? Like, you know, so it'll be cool. So whether you have your job, you're running a company, one thing I want to make sure is don't just run after, like, work so much that you forget what's important in life. So that's just a little thing. So what are we going to cover today, right? I'm going to talk about a little mindset stuff, okay? And you might say, mindset, boring, this and that. Trust me on this. 95% of success is strategy. I mean, is mindset, only 5% is strategy. It's only 5% is skills, that's it. If you have the mindset, and when I'm saying the mindset, here is what I mean, right? I see a lot of people who buy my course, people who hit me up on, you know, Facebook and all that. They just want to make the money without having the mindset. Even last week, somebody hit me up. I'm new to SEO. I want to make 10K. What do I do? There's not one thing you can do. It's like coming and saying, I'm obese and overweight. I want to get a six-pack. What do I do? it's a lot of things you need to do. You need to start eating right. You need to start working out. But most likely, you know already you need to do those two things. The reason you haven't been doing that is because your mindset's not there yet, right? So when I say mindset, I just want to take you back. Okay, when I was in the job, right, I was working for General Motors, a car company, which is a pretty decent company. They pay you pretty well. They give you a, a company car whenever you want to take it for free and things like that. I just wanted to be my own boss, get away from my job, have my company, my business, things like that, right? I just did not want to sit in a job. But every day I was hanging around and talking to people, those were employees of General Motors, my colleagues, and the talk there at that time was just usual small talk. Why usually politics talk, why this person is not good or that person is this and all that. Micah is hitting it on the head. Yeah, can you grind it out daily? Can you push through downside? Can you exclude those things that will take you from the dream? Is your why strong enough? That's a very good point. If your why, WHY, the reason you want to, whatever you want to do, become financially independent, make some passive money, leave your job. If the reason is big enough, you will figure out the how. And that's pretty much what happened. It came to a point, right? I got into SEO 2013, 2014 time, but for 4 years, I was unable to leave my job. Even though I had most of the skills, I was able to rank and all that, because my mindset was, I was hanging around with these people who were pretty much comfortable with the job. Go in the morning to the job, sit down, have a cup of coffee, 11:30 would be lunch, and we go out for, there's an hour lunch in General Motors, you can go out, eat and come. Things are very, very slow. General Motors, the car company, the nickname was Government Motors. It was like a government company, very, very slow. Like things just to move a file would take a week, And so people are happy. They were called lifers there. You sit there and you retire at 65, you have a good pension plan, all this stuff. But my why to quit my job finally came to a point when I had my second child. She was born. And then when she was 2 years old, every day when I would leave for job, she'd be like, don't leave, just play. She'd be like, sister, akka, sister in Tamil, my language, sister is going to school, you're going to meeting, office, I need to play. And I'd be like, every day I can't be saying no to a 2-year-old because I have to go to a job. And so it came to a point where I needed to get away. So when the why was big enough, like Micah says, you will figure out the how. Micah's got a good point, okay? I think, Micah, you want to hop on Zoom, feel free to, feel free to hop on Zoom. You should be talking, brother. You have a lot of stuff in you. But Micah's right. If your why is big enough, you don't even need to learn the skills of ranking because you can outsource things. There are enough people out here. You can just go get a few clients and outsource it, okay? But what I'm going to talk about is not about me. Why I am excited and why I think this business model is recession-proof, all right? I'm going to give you a great example. So rank and rent is what I mean by business model, but you can also take it for SEO, search engine house. Micah says, too early for you. Whole house is sleeping. Oh yeah, Micah is in LA. So he's what, 7:30 a.m. Yeah, sorry, brother. Yep. No problem. But why is rank and rent or even SEO model, this business model recession proof? What happened last year? Pandemic hit, right? COVID-19. For 2 quarters, it was a recession. I don't know. It depends on your definition of recession, right? People lost their jobs. Companies closed down. A lot of businesses went out of business. But you know what? Businesses needed customers, clients, the revenue coming in to stay afloat. Yes, the government was giving free money, but that was only going to last so long. Okay? Businesses needed people coming in. It didn't matter if you were a tree guy, a plumber, a restaurant, a dentist, or a lawyer. They closed the local business office because of COVID-19, but they were working from home. I remember talking to my tree guy, and I remember telling you during the peak of recession, peak of the pandemic, maybe like last year, April, May timeframe. I remember talking to him because I'm in the tree niche, and April, May is the start of the tree season here in Michigan, and I was talking to him and saying, "Are you sure you want to go cut trees because, this COVID thing all over the place. And he's like, if I don't cut trees, my kids don't eat. I don't have a choice. And he said, I'm wearing a mask, I'm wearing whatever needed, I'm sanitizing, I'm standing 6 feet away from the customer, but I need to cut trees. Okay, whatever. And he was like, and so I actually gave him a couple of months of free, I think a month of free leads, and I didn't charge him for a month. But you know what happened? He needed, every local business needs it. But that's what I'm getting at. So over time, advertising has changed. I don't know if you really understand, if you know that. Okay. Yeah, Micah, you hit on the dot. A lot of businesses blew up because of situational awareness. Yeah. Advertising has changed over time. What do I mean by that? When I was growing up in the 90s, it was TV ads, it was newspaper ads. I remember watching newspaper ads, and there would be some new soft drink or some new restaurant, and they'd give a 10% off launch coupon. What do you call that? Open house coupon or whatever. I would take that, and I would actually be looking in pouring the newspaper to see if I have any of these deals where I can go get some food or new stuff for cheap, right? But who reads ads in newspaper these days, right? Who reads ads on billboard? I don't understand these local businesses paying so much, like $1,000 a month, $3,000 a month sometimes, to put their name on the billboard in the middle of the freeway. These lawyers do this all the time. 1-800-CALL-SAM. Okay, 1-800, need a lawyer, personal injury lawyer? Are you drunk in an accident? You need a DUI lawyer? Call me. When was the last time you were driving on the freeway, you saw the billboard with the lawyer, and then you pulled over to the side and you call the lawyer? Never. We never. Like, if you need something, what do we do now? We go to Google, right? So if you don't change with that, you're missing out. When I say you as a business owner, okay? So we are in the business of sending customers, generating traffic, generating customers, clients, revenue to business. Okay. Yeah, we use Google to rank it, but tomorrow if Google goes away and something new comes up, Google is not going to go away. Don't worry about that, because it's a 90-pound gorilla in the room, right? But if something, Google goes away for some reason, the marketing you learn on generating clients for generating customers to local business owners, that will help you, and you can easily pivot to something else. Okay. How to create generational wealth? What do I mean by that? Here is what I mean by that. Okay. I still have a bail bonds client. Okay. One of my first clients was the bail bonds niche. By the way, bail bonds, which is, let me show you what I mean. Bail bonds, all right? If you do bail bonds, whatever city you're in, you will never see Google ads. You see that? You will never see Google ads. You know why? There is no Google ads for the bail bonds niche. So if I do bail bonds Detroit, okay, look at the searches for that. 4,500 searches a month. This is the keywords everywhere tool. Now, this may be a little bit exaggerated, who knows, but let's just go bail bonds Houston. Okay, look at that, 12,000. Bail bonds Houston, 1,300. Okay, there's a lot of search volume, and you know why? Because number one, bail bonds is a big industry, especially these days, with everybody getting into trouble with COVID-19 and people are protesting and they're getting in jail and they need bail. But the most important thing that it's a cash cow if you get into this. Here's the big tip. For those of you who are live or watching this, here is a tip for you. I have this bail bonds client who used to spend $30,000 a month on Google ads. And then about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, sometime in August, I remember, Google stopped ads for bail bonds. They have no choice but to go SEO. All right. So I remember him saying, I have $30,000 a month on Google ads. I need clients, I need traffic. And I remember telling him, let's put up rank and run websites all over the state, that state I'm working on for you. We'll put up websites and dominate the state. And he was like, okay, great. How much is it? I'm like, $30,000 a month, right? Of course, I didn't charge him $30,000, but I knew he was spending $30,000. So there's a lot of money there. But when I say generational wealth, here is what I mean. I built out quite a few websites for him. He's still a client of mine. I was able to sell one website, okay, which he was paying every month, to another person who's in this Facebook group. As a matter of fact, he's a SEO rank and renter in my group. He learned a lot from me. He knows that he will be the first to accept that. He makes 83 to 85K a month through rank and rent, not SEO clients, just rank and rent. He bought my website for a pretty good sum because it was giving him cash flow, right? So you can make a lot of money, right? I know people who've sold websites for 6 figures. Okay, they built a website, ranked it, drove traffic, and in 1.5 years sold it for like $200,000. So you can, when I say generational wealth, that's a lot of money. $200,000 is like 4 to 5 years of income for the average American out there, right? So give me a 1 if it makes sense, guys. Give me a 2 if I'm boring, if you want me to go directly into what I want to cover today. Okay, but I want to make sure, like, especially if you know all this, then the way you're going to look at this business model of rank and rent SEO is going to change, because you're going to be like, I need to learn this thing now, and I need to take action now. Learning, we can always learn, especially in this business industry. There's so much information out there. Everybody's a SEO guru on YouTube and Facebook, and they're teaching something or the other. But I'm going to show you the 4 important things. Dipta says, great, awesome, thank you. Micah says 200,000 is 10 years average person. Yeah, that is true. The average person out there is what, $2,500 a month is the average income, right? Okay, Greg says enjoying. Thank you guys. Okay, I appreciate that. But here's what I want to go with this. Okay, so I don't want to go into this. You guys know this Facebook group. You know, you're in there. I don't want to keep tooting my own horn. People are saying, "Hey, get in my course and all that." I have a course. If you're interested, welcome. Oh, I want to show you something. This lady here, Victoria Tralala, she joined my course last March when the pandemic hit. She was so new to SEO. Okay, I should bring her on Facebook Live one day. She was so new to SEO. She's like, can I even make money? I don't know SEO. Today, she has a successful agency, SEO agency, with personal injury law clients, and she's the keynote speaker for quite a few SEO conferences. Okay, I'm happy for her. I'm not I don't jump at opportunities to talk in conferences, because my game is different. I'm not in the game of talking, you know, being an SEO guru out there. I got quite a few things going on. For those of you who want to know what I'm doing, here's a quick tidbit of what I'm getting into now. I'm getting into the bigger digital marketing space, which is Salesforce. All right, that's a whole different story. But that's where you can go, right? And there's a lot of people. Okay, this gentleman is a retired gentleman. I mean, he's got so many things going on. You don't need to know. He's not even technical. He's like making a lot of money to rank and rent. Okay. So, anyways, here is a $1 million lesson they don't teach you at school. They did not teach me. Most likely, you didn't learn it at school, right? And I went to University of Michigan right here, expensive school. Okay. Here's a $1 million lesson. The key to becoming wealthy is to create assets that produce cash flow. What do I mean by that? Okay. The rich and the wealthy, they speak a different language. I grew up middle class, right? I still consider myself middle class, because the wealthy is now like 10 million and above, right? But we are taught to go get a good education, get the best education. My parents were good. You know, my dad was an engineer, my mom was a teacher. And they were like, education, study. Education is the ticket to success, right? So we went to get the education. Then we are taught to go get a good job. Okay, go get a good job, and then we all set for life, and that's not true. When the pandemic hit, if you think about it, a lot of people lost jobs, and they didn't have enough money to pay the next month's mortgage or rent. Why? Because when the job goes down, the income goes down. Remember? But for the wealthy, the rich, they have assets that produce them money. They call it cash flow. We call it income. They call it cash flow. Middle class people call it salary. They have assets. It could be real estate properties, it could be stock dividends, it could be intellectual property, whatever, right? But they have assets that produce cash flow every month. That's why somebody like Kylie Jenner, who just takes pictures, it looks like, can become a billionaire launching a skincare makeup company, right? There are millions of people who know more about skincare and makeup than Kylie Jenner. But why did she make a lot of money? Because her asset is millions of people on Instagram, her fan following. Tomorrow she can come and she can say, hey, this notebook here is the best thing that I ever done. It's Kylie notebook. It's $5. I bought it for like 80 cents, but she can come and say it's $10. Buy it, guys, and she would probably have $1 million or more of sales of this plain notebook. You get the idea? So her asset is the network, the people following her. Okay, you and I need to figure out how to create assets. Most people don't know that. Okay, what is an asset? Okay, Micah says explain the difference between asset and liability. Simple. Asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. So right now, if you're in a job, the job is an asset for you. It's putting money in your pocket, but it's not a permanent income. It's temporary, right? Jobs are temporary. They can fire you anytime. Liability is anything that takes money away from your pocket. As simple as that. So most people think, oh, I own a home. It's my asset. Your home is not your asset until you pay it off. Okay. Once you pay it off, then you own the home. It's your asset. If you have a rental property that's bringing you income, then it's an asset. But your home is a liability because every month you're paying mortgage. You think you own it. If you think you own it, stop paying mortgage for 2 months and you'll really find the owner. The bank is the owner. They'll come and repossess your house, right? So people are not taught all this stuff, okay? So where I'm going is in the past, okay, in the past, if you own land, you were king. So let me say give me 1 second. Okay, in the past, look at this. I just Googled this, all right? Who is the largest owner of land, right? Bill Gates, he's just buying up all the farmlands. But look at this. Queen Elizabeth, 6.6 billion acres. I bet $1 million you did not know that, right? Give me a 1 if you knew it already, okay? That Queen Elizabeth owns 6.6 billion acres of land. Give me a 1 if you already knew it. Give me a 2 if you did not know that. Why am I showing you this? The reason she's wealthy, her generation was wealthy. Her, is the reason Prince Harry is goofing off in America and he doesn't have to go to a job to make money is because they own so much land. Does it make sense? Right? Okay, Greg says too, he did not know it. You see that? Dipta says too, you don't know it, right? So ever since mankind, like land, you own land, you are king, you are wealthy. Now you want to own digital real estate. That's it. Does it make sense? Okay. I don't think I can go and buy 6 billion or even 6,000 acres of land, but I can sure as heck put up 6,000 websites if I want to, right? Forget 6,000. I don't think I can buy 60 acres of land, but I can put up 60 websites and make money. Does it make sense? Now, do you understand why somebody like Prince Harry can move from UK to America? What is he doing? Juggling balls? Goofing off? Making a fool of himself? I don't know. Maybe you like Prince Harry. I shouldn't say it. Okay, great guy, Prince Harry. Okay. But he doesn't have to go to a job, right? Well, you and I, if we don't have income coming in, we don't know what to do for tomorrow. Okay. So that's what I mean by asset is land you own that paid off. Anything that's putting money in your pocket. Most people have liabilities. Anything that takes money. So a car, you have a car payment. If you have a house, most likely you have a mortgage, a house payment, right? What we are doing now is with the typical model. What is the typical model? We are trying to take care of our permanent expenses with temporary income. What is our permanent expense? Every month we have to eat, food, education, clothes. Every month we have expenses. That's permanent, right? But our income most likely is temporary. Job, you think, oh, I'm set for life. I have a permanent job with General Motors. No, they can fire you tomorrow. It doesn't matter, right? So what I'm saying is your income is temporary and you're trying to fulfill your permanent expense with a temporary income. So That is why I was so excited about, I needed to do something where even if I don't become billionaire wealthy, I need to make sure I have cash flow coming in. I would rather make $5,000 a month coming in asset-based income, passive income, cash flow because of an asset, than able to make $20,000 a month in a job. Does it make sense? Because passive income, I'll take it any day. All right. I'm beating the horse enough. Okay. Let's move on. All right. So I got in the local lead gen client SEO. It's more than what, almost 8 years now or 7 years now. So it's updated. I invested in tens of thousands of courses. You name it, I'm in the course. I know the SEO guy. I interact with them. The reason I'm saying that is not to say hoo hoo haha, look, I'm great, but SEO changes over time. If you're not careful about what you're learning, what you're implementing, there's a lot of these snake oil salesmen out there. Okay, I don't want to get into details, right? So what is rank and rent? Last basic thing we're going to get into some quick things. Okay, what is rank and rent? Rank and rent is where you rank your own asset, your own website, and you rent it out. Just like real estate, but more lucrative because it's easier and cheaper, right? I don't want to get into all these. All of these are just taken from my ebook in the file section of the Facebook group, so you can go into that, right? So here, one thing I want to talk to you is there are a lot of these online marketers who do a lot of things, right? They know Facebook ads, YouTube ads, this, that. I just know one thing, ranking in Google. I don't know ads. I tried it, I dabbled it, I lost money. I dabbled in stock market. Getting better at the stock market, to be honest, trading. But one thing I'm pretty decent, pretty good at is ranking in Google, right? When the most recent Google algorithm came in, okay, you'll be surprised the number of SEO gurus who reached out to me to confirm a few things, to know a few things, things like that. Okay, the reason is because I did not put up webinars talking about how the algorithm changed. I put my head down, reverse engineered it. We went over literally hundreds of websites, keywords, nuances, subtleties, and we kind of almost 90% figured it out. So anyways, here is the $1 million thing you need to know. If you don't take anything today, guys, take this. If you give Google what Google loves, you will be ranking. Okay, and there could be 1 million things, and probably there are hundreds of SEO factors on page optimization, keyword research, map embeds, schema, you name it. And maybe it's true. Maybe those things are great, right? Geotag images, GMBs, GMB posts, PBN backlinks, guest posts, you know, anchor text, you name it. But it all boils down to these 4 things. If you have these 4 things, it's like 80 to 90%. It's like if you want to be fit and healthy, right? Healthy and fit, you can eat clean. You should eat clean. And you should probably have some kind of a workout. Maybe you're running, maybe you're lifting weights. That depends on you, what you do. But those are the foundations, right? You can't say I'm eating junk food and I want to be fit. You can't, or you can't. You find a lot of these weight loss gurus, and the weight loss industry is such a great analogy to the SEO industry because there's so many weight loss methods or strategies, if you will, right? There's the Atkins diet, there is the, I don't know, paleo diet, there is the South Beach diet, right? And people are like, oh, there's intermittent fasting, there is one guy says breakfast is the way to go, eat breakfast. The other guy says don't eat breakfast, that's the worst thing you can do. One guy says eggs and bacon is fat, is good for health. One guy says no, fat's not good for health. Like, who do you listen to, right? But you know and I know, if you eat something and you feel good and light and all that, it's good for you. Like if I eat veggies, like even though I don't like it much, I eat it, you find some good tasty veggies, you know, like steamed carrots and all that, and eat it, you feel lighter, you feel energetic. Whereas when I eat a lot of, you know, meat and all that, I love eating meat, but especially Indian curry, you feel like lethargic, right? So you go with the feeling, like, you know, the foundation is eating clean and maybe just walk and move around, right? Same way here. If you have these 4 in your website, traffic, relevance, power, and trust. You have what it needs to rank 90% in my opinion. Okay, and we may not have time to dive deep into these, but later on we will. All right. And of course, you should do the keyword research and all the other stuff, right? But what do I mean by all this? So, in my opinion, go here, go to my free Facebook group. Okay, go to the SEO local SEO accelerator. Go to files section right here. Okay, and then open up this rank and rent strategy ebook and walk through this ebook here. Okay, and read that. And I go in a little bit more in depth because forget SEO for a while and think in terms of common sense. What does Google want you to do? Like Google does not like SEO guys like you and I manipulating and influencing backlinks and all that. They want websites to naturally come to the top. That's their model, right? So what are they looking for? So once we know that and what order especially, then the order is, relevance, trust, power, and traffic. Okay, I haven't put this in order. And we'll cover it maybe in the next week or so. Every week I want to have these. But you get the idea, okay? And I have a lot more going. I'm not even going into it. I'm going to stop right now. But if anybody's got any questions, feel free to unmute in Zoom and ask me or put it in the chat or anything. But I hope I made some sense today, guys. I just want to give you some important information because a lot of people are like, how can I rank and make money? But your mindset is not there. You need to get that right first, okay? It's not about making money. You'll be surprised the number of people who are, let me stop share. The number of people who are, I don't know how to rank, but I got this client. How do I rank? How can you go get a client if you don't know to rank? You should know at least the basics, right? That's like saying, I'm not a doctor, but I got this patient. How do I cure him? You'll be in jail. You need to know something, okay? Anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask. If not, I'm calling it a day. But I hope this is worth it. This was useful. Greg says, when you mean power, what do you mean? Yes, I will go into that a little bit deeper next week or the week after or so. But I say links, but there's also a way to do those links. I see a lot of people just get confused with guest posts and niche edits and all of those PBNs. And these are just names given by man, by humans. What does Google see, right? What kind of links? That's what we want to go into. Steve said this was about finding a niche. You're right, Steve. I just didn't have enough time, so we'll cover it next week. But here is something you should be doing, okay? If you are looking into finding a niche, Steve, I'm going to show you something, okay? Go to YouTube. Let me see. Go to YouTube, type in the SEO accelerator, and you would see this channel. Okay. Click on that. Right. And you will see a lot of videos. And one of the first videos that I put up a year ago, rank and rent niche and city, how to identify a niche. These two videos, you will learn a lot from these two videos than many paid courses. Okay, there's a reason that I have less than 500 subscribers. I should probably be growing this channel, but there's a reason it got 2,000 views and growing even after 1 year. The other ones have got 500 somehow. You see that? So these two is packed with content. Okay, I still get people commenting on this and saying, "Mind blown, can you give me some more information?" All that. Okay. So, look, 1 week ago, somebody put new sub. Your niche selection videos are the best I've seen on YouTube. Okay. So go through that, Steve. Hope I answered some questions. Okay. Sorry, guys. Need to make a move. It's Saturday. My kids and my wife are like, "You need to go for lunch Saturday." So anyways, guys, if this was helpful, we're going to be doing this every week. I want to make sure you guys make money. We all make money. Like I said, if you buy my course, great. I'll be happy. If you don't buy it, I don't care. Because my focus is the rank and rent and SEO, and there's recurring money, and there's so much you can do. So anyways, yeah, Steve, glad you have found value. Greg says, thank you. Awesome. Glad you found value. Dipta, thank you. Micah, thank you. Let's get this going every week, guys. Every week, Saturday morning. How about this, right? And if the time is not good, we can always change it, but we keep it Saturdays for now. All right. With that, adios.